the 25 types of players that you will find in League of Legends. Starting us off, we got the One Tricks. These are the type of players who can only play one champion in the game, and after that champion is banned, their skill level goes from gold all the way down to bronze. They are addicted to playing that one champion and one champion alone, and they will do anything they possibly can to play that champion, including taking them off role. Number 2, we got Mr. Bandwagon. These are the type of players who get absolutely rolled by a certain champion, complain the entire game on how busted that champion is, and then try to play that same champion they just got destroyed by in their next game, because it was, you know, clearly busted. Of course, then they realize they're not actually good with them, so they ultimately end up getting smashed that game too. They then once again start complaining about how busted the champion is that they lost to in this game, only for the cycle to continue once again. Hey, did you know you can make money by playing games like League and even Minecraft by using a program called Buff? Buff, who by the way is partnered by Overwolf, a world-leading gaming app platform, is a free program that rewards you for playing not just League of Legends, but any of these other games as well. Literally, all you have to do is download it and have it sit in the background while you're playing, and during that time, you'll earn buff points, which you can spend on some pretty sick rewards. I mean, check some of these out. You can get RP, you can get gaming hardware, this is literally the mouse I'm using, and there's a bunch of other cool stuff, all just for playing video games. Buff gets its money offering subscriptions and then uses that money to offer you these insane rewards. You can also complete some extra challenges to earn even more buff points. It has zero effect on your gameplay, and right now there is even a promotion going on only for March, where if you download Buff using my link, you'll earn 2 times the amount of starting points. Instead of 30, you'll get 60. So don't miss this opportunity and make sure to download Buff using my link below. And thank you so much, Buff, for continuing to support this channel. All right, now back to the video. Next up, we got another crowd favorite, the Fragile Potato. These are the players who, after dying only once, will type FF in the chat, even if it's only a minute into the game. Like, what was ever the point of that? People who can tilt that fast need to just not play rank. The mental game is not strong with these ones. A small percentage sub, a lot not sub, click red, big thank you, and puppy. Number 4, we got the Keyboard Warrior. These, of course, are the players that will never stop typing. Not necessarily because they're talking trash, but more because they just like to talk. A lot. I mean, a lot of the time what they're saying is going to be toxic for sure, but sometimes they're just doing it to do it. Talking about how awesome someone's skin is or how busted an ability is, they'll just keep going for the entire game. Number 5, we got Mr. 23rd Account. These are the types of players that everyone hates the most because they're the same people who don't give a f on what happens to others or themselves in game. They'll start running it down the moment one thing goes wrong for them. But for them, it's okay because they'll just buy another account after this one gets banned. They also usually have a tiny brain and tiny dick. Number 6, the Dial-Up Guru. These are the types of players who play on the crappiest internet of all time, and as annoying as some of these players can be, it's often not entirely their fault. But what is their fault is when they hop into a ranked game knowing that they have bad internet. This was a fun little ranked game I had the other day, just constantly reconnecting and disconnecting. Always a good time. What's also the worst is sitting there knowing that you're not going to be able to remake because they keep moving around. Number 7, we got Mr. Solo Invader, also known as the dude who somehow dies before minion spawns every single game. Whether it's getting hooked by a blitzcrank or just walking blindly into a bush, they'll make sure to get the job done. Number 8, we got the Pretend Smurf. Not to be mistaken for the actual Smurfs, these are the players who fake being a Smurf when in reality they're also hard stuck bronze. During the game, they'll never stop reminding you that there's some amazing high elo diamond player who created a Smurf, so you should trust them. Even sometimes going as far as linking their big brother's account for proof. This is usually about the time I say I'm a Smurf too and send a link to Faker's account. Ironically, they're usually the worst performing player in your team too, but refuse to accept it, so instead they blame it on the fact that they have some low elo teammates. Number 9, we got the actual Smurfs, who just enjoy stomping around on low elo players for their entertainment. Coming in at number 10, we got the Split Push Specialist. These are the type of players who love split pushing to the point that they will never ever group with their team no matter what. They see lane, they push lane, and they live in lane, and that is the life of a split push specialist. These are the same types of players who could probably get the same satisfaction out of playing a custom game by themselves because they will get their entertainment from just killing turrets. Number 11, we got the Twitch Streamer. These are the people who always make sure no matter what to drop their Twitch stream link at the end of the game, even if they ran it down. No shame though, respect. Number 12, we got Mr. I Can Steal This. This person will, no matter what, always try and steal an objective, even if it's just a useless Cloud Drake. and they're 100% willing to throw the game for just that small percentage that they may steal it. Number 13, we got the Ping Master. This is the type of person I'm sure you're all familiar with. This special type of person will spam ping everything, everyone, all the time, and they probably even think they're being helpful. Which leads me to number 14, the Shot Caller. The Shot Caller can be one of the most annoying people in the game to play with. They will not hesitate to micromanage every single one of you in the game. I mean, sometimes you'll actually get a good Shot Caller on your team, but most of the time it's a bronze player trying to act like they know what they're doing. Additionally, it's also the same player who will usually say something like play safe only for them themselves to get caught 5 seconds later, and then you lose the game. Number 15, we got the No Lifer. A classic in any video game, but we all know that one friend or person who literally plays League non-stop to the point it's a legitimate addiction. On top of that, when you do find these players, you always wonder to yourselves how they do have enough time to do it. Do they just not have a job? Seriously, how do you guys do it? Number 16, we got Mr. Tilted, or as I like to call it, the person who enjoys watching the world burn. These are the types of players who we all know far too well, and are also the players who will start off their new games by saying stuff like this to their team in Champion Select. I mean, really? For people who actually say this, what kind of response are you Untitled Documents expecting to get out of that? Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. Originally, I wasn't sure what kind of teammate to be, but after seeing your inspiring words, I now vow to be different and better than your last team and promise to be the best teammate possible. That was probably like 99% of the responses they got after saying that, right? Moving on, we got Mr. Autofill. Similar to Mr. Bandwagon, Mr. Autofill are the types of players who think they can play any role or any champion, especially in your ranked games. Spoiler alert, they probably can't. The only exception, of course, being Brian the Avatar. Number 18, we got Mr. Spotlight, or otherwise known as the players who think they always have to carry no matter what. Even if they're 0-11 and have a 20-0 Yi on their team, they still think they have to be the win condition. What makes these players so difficult to play with is the fact that they don't know how to be carried. They'll still try and make big highlights and plays, but in reality, all they have to do is just sit in their lane and farm. Or even sometimes just sit in the fountain. Instead, they usually become a handicap to the point it might be even easier if it was a 4v5. Number 19, we got the LCS Wannabe. These are the players that watch too much pro play and think they can replicate whatever weird pick or build they just saw on Twitch. Unfortunately for them, they quickly remember that professional play and solo queue are very different places. Number 20, we got the Actual Nice Dude. A rare breed for sure, but they come around once in a few centuries. These are the players that you'll start trash talking or blaming in chat only to be hit back with a sorry, and then immediately feel like a dick, but you should. Number 21, we got Mr. Serious. These are the types of players that only play rank and get mad at someone for first time in a champion in normals. They also get pissed when other people try and have fun because they're not capable of feeling emotions themselves. Number 22, we got the Cooked Gamer. These are the types of players who literally couldn't give a shit on what's happening in the game for the sole reason that they are high as a kite. And the same goes for drunk players. Number 23, we get Mr. IDGAF. Similar to the Cooked Gamer, these are the players that could care less on what's happening in the game, but not because they're on something, but because they're genuinely there to have fun. You can also find them playing featured game modes and ARAM. Another rare breed for sure. Number 24, we got Mr. Perfect. They refuse to take any responsibility for their mistakes and will always blame someone else or something else no matter what. A very unfortunate breed to have in your game. And lastly, we got Mr. Hardstuck. These are the types of people who are, well, hardstuck. They usually have hundreds of games played and usually around a 47% win rate. There are certainly more types of League players out there, so let me know some others in the comments and maybe they'll even pop up in a future video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. A gigantic shout out to my tier 3 patrons, Josh Boo, Stefan, Senzo, Noctac, and James, and a huge shout out to my other patrons as well. You guys are amazing. All right, bye.